What's up, guys? It's Full Metal here, and today I'm bringing you guys the complete survival guide to Miscreated. I've got a number of tips that'll help you play and live better and longer in games, so let's get right down to it. All right, tip number one is don't play alone. Always make sure you have some friends with you. It just makes the entire experience better. Looting is easier, killing zombies is easier, and killing other players is easier. If you don't have any friends that have the game, get on the forums on Reddit, find some people that want to play. And if you still can't find anybody, send me a request on Steam. I'll be happy to play with you guys. I love teaching new players the game. Anytime I find a Bambi in the game that doesn't know that much, we'll always take them around, try to show them out a little bit. So, tip number one, do not play alone. Tip number two, when you're looting a house, be sure to check every single crevice and corner possible. Guns spawn in a bunch of places like behind TVs, on top of cupboards, behind couches, stacked over here in the boxes. So pretty much when you come in a house, you're going to find food and water in the kitchen like you'd expect. Sometimes you'll find ammo on top of microwaves hidden around in cupboards. Like I said, always check the cupboards, even the little cracked cabinets like that. Garages are pretty good. Sometimes you'll find a weapon. Oh. Sometimes you'll find a weapon over here near the boxes. Sometimes you'll find some tools over here, an axe up there, you see. Upstairs, though, is usually where the best loot is found in this type of house. There's a few different models of houses, but you'll find, like I said, stuff on top of the cupboards, so check that. In the corners, backpacks can be lying around anywhere. Pistols possibly spawn right there, see? Pistol and 22 rounds, which I already have one of those pistols, but it won't hurt to have an extra. So loot can spawn really anywhere. I found some crazy stuff in some crazy places, and it's just luck where it's going to spawn, but you need to check everything. But inside houses isn't the only place that things spawn. Stuff will spawn on the outside of the trash bags, on top of the dumpster. There's broken down cars behind houses sometimes, and you can find guns and shotguns, pistols hidden in the trunk or the hood. Right there's a little do-rag. So stuff spawns back here. Just be sure to check thoroughly everywhere you go, because stuff can literally spawn just about anywhere. Right here on another long sleeve shirt if you need it. So just be sure to check thoroughly and make sure that you don't miss something that you could have had or that could possibly save your life later down the road. Tip number three, which is a pretty important tip and some people will probably overlook, is learn the map. Okay, you've got a number of pretty large cities like Brightmoor, Pinecrest, Sultan, Woodhaven, and then you've got the airfield. Clyde Hill is so-so. I never really bother with it. But you need to learn the map because spawn locations really are just about anywhere throughout. And if you can tell where you're at easily and fast, you can possibly get back to your dead body where you died or get to where you're trying to go easily. And also learning the side routes and learning the navigation through the rivers and the trails through the woods. The middle of the map is pretty much covered in a big mountain. Not too much there besides a few houses. Loot. There's also military bunkers, there's caves, water towers, and some radio towers hidden around. So just be sure to learn the map because stuff does spawn sporadically around, and sometimes you'll just spawn sporadically and you need to know where you're at. And there's no in-game map unless you find one like this. The map is called Orca Island. It's the only way you can see the map is by finding it and holding it in your hand. So be sure to learn the map. An overlooked tip for most people, but it's very important and you'll find it useful later on. So you don't always have to have the map in hand while you're trying to look. Tip number four, make sure to check your vitals and be familiar with what the bars at the bottom right of your screen mean. So you've got radiation, temperature, oxygen, thirst, hunger, and health, of course. So radiation doesn't really come into play that much, only if you enter a radiation zone, which you need to take Rad-X pills to get that away. Temperature also is another feature that isn't really implemented yet. It doesn't really matter what you wear or what the temperature gauge says. It's not really going to affect you as of yet. Oxygen, this affects you when you go underwater, how long you can hold your breath. Thirst is probably the fastest draining bar on the entire vital signs over there. It drains pretty fast, so make sure you drink regularly. If you go into an area and you're not stocked up on food and water, and you get pinned down somewhere, trapped somewhere, like the airfield doesn't spawn a lot of food sometimes, you can be in a world of trouble. So make sure that you have water or any sort of liquid drink, tomato juice, anything that will bring up your water. And I'll show you real quick. If you drink something, obviously it goes up. That was gin, so it didn't really affect it that much. Canteens also fill it up, which a pretty good bit the canteens did. And then hunger, any sort of solid food is going to affect this, but also liquid mixed food like peas, peaches, soup, ravioli, stuff like that. That'll increase both of your hunger and thirst bars. So that's good to keep on hand if you get into a bind and you need to just spike both of them up really fastly. And then lastly, of course, health. Just keep an eye on that. Make sure you're not bleeding, draining down. Sometimes the sound animations will glitch a little bit, and you don't always know you're getting hit. So just be sure to check that regularly and try to keep it above 50 usually. And also, if you sit down on the ground, if you put your guns away, you sit down on the ground, your health will actually go up faster than if you're running around doing stuff. So keep that in mind. Keep an eye on your vitals, and let's go to the next tip. Tip number 5. Surviving the mutants is one of the most important parts of the game because they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere, and they just got buffed with the new AI integration, so they're even stronger. Well, not stronger, but they're smarter. They'll stick on you longer. They'll chase you longer. They're faster. They're everything pretty much. So if you don't have any weapons and you're trying to avoid, which could be most of the time, you want to avoid the zombies. You don't always want to turn and fight. When you're trying to avoid, you want to run, get distance between you and the zombies. Use anything like trash bags, make a little bit, don't get stuck in them. Use trash bags, walls, barriers, anything that can create distance between you and the zombies. Right here, jumping over this wall will pretty much guarantee me a pretty good break in the fight from the zombies behind me. So you want to use that to your advantage. But if you are going to turn and fight, make sure you headshot them. Melee weapons are good. The primary axe is a good weapon. It's a 3-shot kill. But the secondaries are more like 5 to 6, I'm pretty sure. If you're using your hands and fist, you're going to be there for a while. If you want to go inside some of the buildings that have a bed, if you actually get on top of the bed, there's certain distances where they can't reach you and you can kick them. But play smart when the zombies are after you. Fight in groups. Use your axes, be smart about it, and take them down because zombies really can overwhelm you now after they've been buffed in the new update. And just be careful not to let the zombies too near you because they scream and make a lot of noise and other players will be alerted to your position, which is good if you're trying to find somebody, but not so good if you're the one getting chased. Tip number 6. Find a vehicle as fast as possible, whether it be the orange truck, the tractor, the 4-wheeler, well maybe not the tractor, a bicycle, or the 10-man truck. They're all pretty good. My favorite is the orange pickup truck. It holds 5 players. It's the fastest and it's got really good controllability if you have the tires. Every vehicle takes a battery, spark plugs, dry belt, tires, except for boats, stuff like that. It's not that hard to find. You can usually loot up and get it within about 30 minutes if no one else comes and steals it. But if you're driving fast enough, you can usually one-hit other players and zombies that are on the road, which is really good. It's good for picking up a lot of people, getting out of somewhere, moving around the map really quick. So there's a lot of advantages to having trucks. I recommend finding one as fast as possible. It can be a pain sometimes with the server restarts, having to get oil and diesel again for it, but it's okay. You just put oil and diesel in the inventory. Don't actually put it in the slot, and it'll save it. So when the server resets, if that ever happens, you can have extra to put in there. But yeah, guys, find a truck. You'll definitely have fun with it and get around the map a lot quicker than you used to, I promise. Even a bicycle is better than walking, but they've been kind of buggy lately. But they're working on it. Tip number 7 is for PvP. Now, whether you're a bandit or you just want to fight zombies and roleplay, it doesn't matter. You're going to come in contact with PvP somewhere along the lines. So having the right equipment and the right teamwork with your buddies can keep you alive and whoever you're trying to kill dead.
Save my stuff. Do not let them get my stuff.
One important thing is just making sure that you and your buddies are wearing something similar. Like we always wear black helmets together so we know who's who. It's very frustrating to be in a battle and then not knowing who's who, who's your buddy, who's not, and shooting the wrong person or not shooting the right person. So that's definitely frustrating. And also, if you change clothes or if you pick up a new weapon or some new gear, make sure you call it out so they can identify you easily instead of saying, who's that down the road? And then you get shot by somebody. Also, PvP, you need to have the right guns for the job. 9mm pistol is a great gun. The shotguns with buckshot are really good. The Stanags and the AT-15 rifles are really good. I don't really like the HK, it feels too weak, but my gun of choice is definitely the shotgun, buckshot, or 9mm pistol. And with any gun, a one-shot headshot is all it takes to kill someone. Melee weapons are okay to use. The primary axe is a 3 to 4 hit kill, and it's okay. But any secondary, like knives, lug wrenches, or hatchets, they're going to be probably 5 to 6 depending on their health. So, and you definitely don't want to go into a fight with just your fist and kicking because you're probably going to lose. Tip number 8. Okay, so here are some areas you probably need to avoid if you're a fresh spawn or if you don't have full loot, food, and ammo, things like that. Some of the best loot, I think, is in Brightmoor, and to be honest, there's not a lot of action in Brightmoor, but it still happens. But I think it's relatively safe compared to Pinecrest. Pinecrest, there's always some shit going down. Literally, I've died more in Pinecrest than anywhere else on the map. So if I'm a fresh spawn, I probably want to be in Brightmoor or Woodhaven, maybe Sultan. The loot is okay. I really think Brightmoor has some of the best loot as well as Pinecrest. The airfield also has really good weapon spawns, but you don't want to go in there without full loot because it's pretty much shoot on sight in the airfield. So Pinecrest, it's a pretty big town. It's got 2 sets of neighborhoods. There's one on that side of the street, which is relatively safe actually. If I were going to loot, I would go over there in that side of Pinecrest. Once you head over the bridge though, when you get to the shops and there's a neighborhood on the right and the left, it's a bit more risky. There are a lot of people that hide out in Pinecrest and stuff always is going down, so make sure to be very careful about that. It's almost always shoot on sight in Pinecrest and the airfield from my experience. Even if you have a mic and you try to talk to them, it still doesn't usually go your way. Tip number 9, always be familiar with the items you have in your inventory, whether it's food or guns or ammo, whatever it is. You always need to know how many shots you've got on each clip of your gun, how many guns you've got total, melee weapons, primaries. You need to know how many bandages you've got, how much food you have on you. That kind of goes along with the learning your vitals down here. What each item does, having a little IQ about the items is also good. Like canteens can be filled up at water sources like rivers. Learning fast ways to swap your gun ammos, putting guns in their slots, and looting fast is also very important. You just need to have a good general IQ about what you have on your person so you know what you have going into a situation or a battle. You don't want to go into an area that doesn't have a lot of food spawn and be stuck thirsty or hungry and die because of that. That's a really shitty way to die. So just keep a lookout on your guns and your ammo mainly. Know what the items do. Don't get stuck somewhere and not know what's going on in your inventory and die because of it. And tip number 10, the final tip, probably the most important tip, is just have fun. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Whether you're a bandit or a role player, whatever, just have fun. Just do what you do. Go out there, kill people, kill zombies, loot up, join a community, make a clan, build a base, find cars, whatever you want to do. The developers are great. They always update the game, and it's going to get even better. So all the little bugs and glitches that get kind of annoying now, they'll iron those out. Just keep having fun with the game. Do what you got to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial / video tips, whatever it is. And I hope this helps you guys in some situations, maybe to be smarter about your gameplay so you don't die as often. Don't get as frustrated as you were before. So anyways, guys, don't forget to check out the description to see the links to people who helped me with this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And thank y'all for watching. I've got a ton of other Miscreated stuff, so check that out as well. Hit that subscribe button if you want to, and if not, oh well. See y'all next time, guys.